Okay, let's have a little postmortem on Hillary Clinton. What we could learn, or any politician could learn from what went on. Hillary Clinton, as we made clear in our position, was that she would have been a really good president. Had good instincts, knew what she was doing, was not afraid, was realistic, would have compromised, would have made things happen. I really believe things would have happened the first 100 days, but her weaknesses really hurt her, and we were talking about it throughout in the last couple of years. And we're very consistent on how we felt. Number one, we felt that she shouldn't even be running for president. Why would someone who had all the money in the world, was making 200 some odd thousand dollars a speech, and her husband was making double that, and they're cruising around the world, and everybody's kissing their feet and treating them like royalty and loving them, and she had a granddaughter and maybe two grandchildren, and would have kept making all the money she wanted. Everybody would have always respected her, and she had been a Secretary of State and a senator and a First Lady. Why would you want to run for president and take that which you're so private about and put it out into the world? And our advice was, don't run, Hillary, don't run. And she did. And what came out of it was that her weakness really took out her candidacy. And it's a weakness that nobody can really, in this day and age, be able to get away with. And that's being very withdrawn and kind of quiet to yourself. Look at what Donald Trump did every day during the primaries. He was on TV. It didn't matter what station he was on. He was calling in. He was talking to the different anchors. He was pushing himself. Hillary would never show up. Hardly ever talked. Hardly ever gave. You forget a press conference. She didn't just drop in on people. She never talked to Bill O'Reilly. Look, Fox News is gigantic. How can you not go in and talk to Bill O'Reilly? You talk to Chris Wallace. Okay, you should have talked to Bill O'Reilly. You go into the lion's den and you take it on. And that's what people appreciate about Trump. They thought he just opened up, said it like it was, or like he thought it was. And, even though he was talking out of both sides of his mouth almost all the time, but it sounded real, and it sounded like he believed what he was saying. And I believe he believed what he was saying at that moment. Yet she would never open up, and she would never just come in and say, which we said at the beginning, I'm sorry, I blew it on the emails. I blew it. You can't do that. No, it was this parse and that parse and this parse and that parse. And Hillary Clinton, who used to be a person that young girls looked up to back in the 90s, just time passed her by. It just didn't work any longer. And you can't play the old game in the 90s. You have to at least act transparent if you're not transparent. She didn't even act transparent. And it's a product of her times, and it really hurt her. And now what happens is Brand Clinton goes down the toilet. Everybody was talking about Brand Trump going, but Brand Clinton, I mean, what's Clinton Foundation going to be? She's not going to be looked at as the Buffalo Bills of politics. The Bills lost, what was it, three Super Bowls in a row, or four of them, something. She lost two attempts at the presidency in a row. She can never do it again. And the Clinton Foundation is just not going to have the oomph it used to have, because they lost, and now all this stuff has been exposed, and all this horrible stuff with WikiLeaks, something we're going to have to deal with later, but all this exposure and just came out, and it's over. So she really pretty much lost almost just so much, the great majority of what she built up over the years, and it's really so sad. And all she had to do was jump into the lion's den and say it like it was, and just lay it out there, so that people, after hearing it over and over and over again, would have looked at it as being authentic and not calculated. And what is she thinking about doing today, which the WikiLeaks stuff made it look like even more than she did. So that's the postmortem. Smarter candidates are going to have maybe be a little bit more introspective, but are going to have to be willing to be open and transparent, or at least look transparent as things go forward. It doesn't matter what's in your past. All that matters is that you sound like and you act like you're telling it like it is, and that you really believe it at that moment. So that's the postmortem. Hillary, you had a great run. President Clinton, you had a great run. And it's time for the Democratic Party to move on, and we'll be talking about their postmortem later. Peace.